What's up, guys? It's your boy, Joshua Zero here, bringing you all a brand new episode of the Gears Cast. Welcome, everyone, to the Gears Cast, the best Gears of War podcast here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's get into it.
For sure, man, for sure.
Holy shit, dude. I'm super hyped to be here, man. Like, I was just like running up my stairs to get a drink before we started. And I'm like out of breath. I'm like super excited though, guys, about this episode of the show. I've got a guy who's been creating a lot of content from like a streaming perspective, have been consistently streaming on Twitch, and unbelievable job with his branding and everything else. And we're going to have other guys are going to be joining us here for this episode of the Gears Cast, but a first timer. I got Bon. Bon, what is up, brother?
Thank you for having me, man. I'm excited to be here. I was glad I missed the last one, but just timings clashed. But yeah, we here now. We here now.
Hey, dude. I'm super grateful for you, man. I know for some people this is going to be a little bit of an earlier Gears Cast. But you have to realize, guys, as I've told you many times, when we get different guests onto the shows and things of that nature, everybody's on different time zones. Yeah. A lot of us are. You know, we got people in the UK, you know, like in Europe, all over the place. And so that's why the show is going to be a little bit earlier here today, because I really wanted to get Bon on this episode of the Gears Cast. And it's been something that's been like, you know, we've been trying to make it work at some point. Bon's been super, you know, like I said, consistent with creating, you know, streams for the community and things of that nature. And I want to say this for all of you who are watching right now, before we go any further, I want you to check out Bon, his Twitch. Go over there and check out his stream. He is streaming consistently over there. He's going to be creating a lot of streams for the community on Twitch when, of course, E-Day releases, the beta, all of that stuff. And so ultimately, go check him out, guys. I'll have links in the description down below.
Appreciate it, man.
I want to say this, Bon. You know, every time I do one of these shows and I have someone new who comes onto the show, I want to give you the platform for a few minutes to just tell the audience, those people who have never heard of you before, who have but maybe don't know the whole story. I would like you to just tell the audience like who you are today, bro, how you got involved in the Gears of War community and streaming specifically. And I know you've got a number of other things that you're doing in like creative arts and all kinds of different really cool shit that you are doing. I want to give you a few minutes, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got here and Gears of War, dude. It's fucking Gears of War. Why Gears of War? I'll give you a few minutes, bro.
So they call me Bon. That's my name. But people online know me as BFL, which is short for BFL ABDN. Sometimes there's an underscore, sometimes there's not. You just got to be lucky. There's a reason behind that underscore, and that's Jacob MVPR couldn't pronounce my name when we were mods for Pro League. I've been with Gears since 2006. It's never been something I thought about doing creation with streaming or videos before, because, I mean, at the time, I was 21. I was one of the older ones to get into Gears at that point. But it's been consistently played from then on, and then we got into the whole esports side of things. Me and Bleach, my mod in real life and in Twitch, were both mods for the esports. We became friends with the casters, some of the players. Once that was dying down, I put together a Discord server to get everyone involved from there, because we made a lot of friends from that chat. And I started streaming when lockdown hit properly, because the people that I played Gears with were my friends IRL. They're the people I went for a pint with at the weekend. And I wanted to continue having a pint, and because we were still playing Gears together, I decided to do the stream of Beers and Gears, which is custom games with drinking rules. It just gets a bit silly, it gets a bit spicy, and it was just the 5, 6, 7 of us to begin with, and now we are 44 away from hitting 2,000 followers on Twitch. So that all went a bit insane. Apart from playing, I build stuff. For example, we got a band here. I do a lot of paintings. I do a lot of artwork. I can show you a couple of those. We got a Hoffman. We got a Baird there. We got Carmine.
Bro.
We got loads of them all over the place. And I don't know how many sort of players that I've done paintings for, like their favorite character. It's awesome being able to do that, getting asked to do that. Pro players that I've had to do artwork for, Avexis, Franchise, Icy, casters that I've done artwork for. So I mean, all that stuff, and I try and keep it all Gears related as well. It keeps everything within the same circle, and it keeps the community tight as well. I see folk that don't come to Twitch that get in touch with me on other socials about artwork, and then they find out he streams as well. All right, I'll go swing by. And then vice versa, people that don't realize I'm on other socials or don't do artwork, they end up on my other socials as well as Twitch. So I mean, everything grows that way. And obviously getting to do the same with other creators as well, that just, I mean, what can be better? Brothers in arms, right?
I'm totally with you, dude. I mean, I love that your mindset, your story, all that stuff. It's really cool, dude. It's fascinating, and I'm really, like I said, dude, I'm really grateful for you for coming on, taking some time onto the Gears Cast. One of the things that I want to ask you, dude, because I haven't been able to ask you this, and you know, since we had the announcement trailer for Gears of War E-Day to now, of course, you know, years later, we get to where we are currently. And that is, you know, Gears of War E-Day was the direct at the Xbox Game Showcase. We had the gameplay trailer. We had obviously the full direct that happened. All of the, you know, and then of course, news and things of that nature that was coming out afterwards. We had the tech demo and so on and so forth. From everything that you have seen so far, I want to ask you, like, where is your anticipation level at for Gears of War E-Day? I mean, obviously, we are one step closer to the beta. I mean, guys, the beta is going to be coming here before you know it, and it's incredible. But where's your anticipation level now, dude, from like the announcement trailer to now where we are currently? Lots of changes, lots of things that, you know, Gears of War feels like it's somewhat of a soft, like kind of like a soft reboot almost of the franchise, and something that I feel like we really needed as a community, as a franchise. But where's your anticipation level right now as we're on this road to Gears of War E-Day?
I've said for a while that TC are definitely taking their time for a reason. And I am more than happy when people are like, oh, it's going to be pushed back, it's going to be pushed back, it's going to be then, it's never going to happen. I mean, so many people thought it's never going to happen. And then we got the trailer, and they clearly listened to the community of going back to Gears. Going back to the dark, going back to the gritty, going back to the scary side of Gears. I mean, in that original trailer, look at that drone, right? That's just a drone, and he is throwing Marcus about.
Yeah,
that's the scariness that we need. No, Clutchy, it's all good, man. Appreciate the raid, dude. Give yourself a shout out. And then we get to see further into it down the line. Now, that was a 2-year gap.
Yeah.
And a lot of hype was then lost. I couldn't lose the hype because I knew it was happening. Whether it was going to be a year or whether it was going to be 2 years, we knew we were creeping up to the 20th anniversary. So it was going to be soon. Like, the two options they had for the 20th anniversary were the movie or the game. And they went smart. They went with the game. The movie can wait. I don't even want to get into any fan picks for the cast for the movie because some of them are atrociously wild. But
Yeah.
I'm buzzing, and now we're a month away. And we get to play
It's
what
crazy.
we haven't seen. So we've been told, we've seen the campaign, we've been told about the 12-man Horde Siege, which I am super excited for, and we haven't been told or seen any sort of PvP. But we get to play the PvP rather than just be told about it.
Mhm.
We get to learn, like, we get to see it firsthand for ourselves on our own screens rather than watching it at a demo or at a tech test or anything. That's exciting.
It feels like, I mean, like I said, dude, it feels like new life for Gears of War. I've said it a lot, man. You know, and one of the things, Bon, there's been a lot of people who've like been coming at me a little bit saying that, you know, some of my recent videos have been a little bit, I guess you could argue like controversial in terms of like just the simple fact of the matter that people don't agree necessarily with some of the negative atmosphere that is kind of in one way, shape, or form has kind of just slowly stemmed from some of the things revolving E-Day, not so much the game itself, like because Gears of War E-Day, I've said this on record multiple times, guys. From that announcement trailer, they hit the setting, they hit the tone, they hit like all the beats we wanted to see out of a Gears of War trailer.
Yeah,
2 years
that trailer
later,
was actually perfect.
it was fucking perfect, dude. Absolutely. It was, I like, dude, at first when I saw it, I was like, dude, this is one of the greatest Gears of War trailers ever made. And the more I thought about it, the more I watched it, because, you know, you think of some of the other trailers like the Ashes to Ashes, you know, Brothers to the End, like some of these other trailers that have come out in the past that really meant something. But that trailer for Gears of War E-Day, the announcement trailer, it, for what it meant at the time and where we were as a community, as a franchise. I mean, you could argue the dark ages of Gears of War. That trailer meant something. And I believe it's the greatest trailer that we have ever seen in Gears of War history for what it meant at the time and all the beats it hit.
I mean, it had the same feelings.
Go
It matched the Mad World trailer, like, easily. Like, it had that
Easily.
level of right in the feels. When he's slipping and
so-
Dom's hand, because you see Marcus getting slapped about and thrown about, and then Dom's hand comes down, and you're like, well, it's not even, at this point, it's not Dom's hand, it's a hand. And then the camera just pans up, and you've got Dom there, and you're like, right, I have to go bed and cry now. But it's happy tears. It's like, Dom's back, baby.
Dude, oh my God. It was really special, dude. And so they leave us on this, the anticipation level for Gears of War E-Day after that trailer was so high that I was concerned because I was like, dude, could they possibly top that trailer? I'm like, dude, because the anticipation was so high. So we're like, the hype's building. We get to the showcase, we get to the direct. And at first I was like, what? You see Marcus in civilian gear and like it was the first thing that was shown at the Xbox Game Showcase. And it's like, okay, like,
yo, going straight into it was so cool.
Oh, dude, and it looked really different. I was like, man, dude, like this looks like The Last of Us a little bit. It looks like what is this? I was like, dude, I hope it's not Extra had mentioned of like it looked at first like it maybe an extraction shooter, and then once everything started picking up, it was like, okay, like this is just different. And the way like just as we went through that gameplay trailer, I was blown away at what I was seeing. And then we got to the direct, which we really saw the deep dive.
Yeah.
And oh my God, dude, it was like how the coalition was able to top like I shouldn't even say top, but like was able to match what we saw a couple of years ago with the announcement trailer. And now here we are, dude. Like we are getting so close now to the Gears of War E-Day beta. And there's so much excitement, but so much noise happening. And so as a community, guys, I will say this. I know that some of the things I've said, people don't like, they're like, Zero, we want you, like, you need to be positive, dude. And I'm like, listen, guys, I get it. And by the way, guys,
You can't be falsely positive.
Dude,
You need to be realistic about things.
I want to say this. I want to say this really quick, Bron. everybody who's joining the chats, who's watching, guys, I fucking love all of you. Like from the bottom of my heart, dude, I love you guys. Now, here's the thing, dude. I told everyone that sometimes I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. Sometimes I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, because if we want Gears of War E-Day and Gears of War to be back in ways that we only really dreamed of, we have to be real with one another, not just about the great, but also the things that suck. And so, although everything revolving E-Day in terms of the game is, dude, it's, bro, we could be returning back to the golden years of Gears of War as we know it right now. But there is a lot of noise happening, Bon, on the outside. There's a lot of noise. The first one started at the at the showcase, where Gears of War E-Day was announced as an exclusive. And then we get the podcast a day later that shows that Gears of War E-Day was going to be a PlayStation title as well as an Xbox title.
Yeah.
And so it kind of started there. And, you know, we saw that, and, you know, the community reacted in certain ways. And then, you know, time kind of is gone now. It's like, okay, like whatever, like we're trying to get through this. Like we're trying to get through it, even though I wanted it to come to PlayStation. I'm not really going to go down this road again, like talking about it. But regardless, we move forward. Now we get to where we are currently, a number of weeks away, Bon, from the E-Day beta releasing to the world. And we've got more noise happening behind the scenes at Xbox. And, you know, we're getting reports, mixed reports, a number of different things, like, you know, studio closures and people being let go, or there's a lot of just noise happening on the outside. There's a lot of talk that, you know, there's a number of the studios over at that, you know, Xbox Game Studios that they currently own, that they are trying to sell some of these studios. They're doing all these different things. And the question I've been getting in my comment section is, well, Zero, how do you think that this is going to affect Gears of War E-Day? You know, with number one, with all this noise happening around Xbox, I should say probably the two biggest things are, number one, people are losing their jobs more than likely. Yeah. People are, you know, they're being let go. Studios are getting closed. Games are getting canceled potentially. But the other thing that's really big about this, Bon, is that Xbox announces a price increase on the consoles. And, you know, so we're talking Gears of War E-Day being an Xbox exclusive. We want people like to be able to access this thing. And like, I will say this, guys, you know, people have said like, this is, you know, terrible or whatever. And it is bad that the price increases just keep going up. It is bad. But at this point in time, Bon, I feel like people have kind of made their decision on like what console they wanted to get, at least for this generation. Like you either got a PlayStation, an Xbox, or both, or a Nintendo Switch or Switch 2 at this point. Like I feel like a lot of people have already kind of chosen what they wanted.
Console wars is dumb, right? It's straight up dumb. Console wars dumb. Ended 15 years ago, right? It is stupid. Anybody that's still fighting for that cannot even class them, like, we are all gamers. That's what we all play video games on one platform or another. There's no argument behind it. Someone chooses PlayStation, all right, cool, go play PlayStation. It doesn't bother me. I choose the Xbox side. Why does that affect you in any way if you're the PlayStation player? It shouldn't. Now, I believe that the Xbox or Microsoft have shot themselves in the foot by taking that and putting the exclusive back on, because it should have went to PlayStation. The price increase probably wouldn't have had to happen if it went to PlayStation as planned. Why do you?
Oh, wow, that is a very. I mean, do you think they would have done that, though?
That's a whole other player base that they wouldn't have had any money from. That's extra money that they've said no to.
Wait, whoa. So you're saying you think that if E-Day was on PlayStation, like, so if it was multi-platform, you think that the price increase wouldn't have happened yet?
If it was gonna, it wouldn't have been as much. I reckon it would have definitely had an effect, though. Because let's
Do
say
you think
that
that
they
do you-
are
so-
they're losing out on. Let's say it's just 1 million sales, right?
right?
That's what, $60 million plus.
Dude,
Plus
I'm not the
anything,
math
plus
guy,
anything,
bro.
plus anything, like plus folk that
Yeah.
go for premium, because all PlayStation users would have had to actually buy the game. Like obviously we have Game Pass over our side. They'd still have to actually pay for the game. So that's money that goes right back. It's money that I think that they've thrown away.
I mean, yes, I'm totally with you, dude. I just is. I guess my ultimately, dude, what I'm wondering is, obviously we both know that Gears of War E-Day was made as a Xbox title, but with PlayStation in mind. Obviously, that the graphic that was
Reloaded
shown,
lets us know that.
Reloaded
Why do
let us
you
know that
why
too.
do you hand
100
Reloaded to them?
Correct. Now, here's what I want to ask you, dude, because these are guys. Some of these are tough questions, dude. They're tough questions, but we need to talk about it. In your mind, dude, we have all this noise happening on the outside, and there's this growing concern happening here with E-Day and how like it can perform with all these different things kind of. I mean, maybe they're going for it. I don't think they are. I think they're going against it, where it's an Xbox exclusive. It's releasing 2 weeks before Call of Duty, a little bit over a month from GTA 6. We are, the consoles are being increased in price. It's going to Game Pass day one. Can E-Day, like, I believe that E-Day can make its money back, but I'm wondering how long it's going to take because of all these things that are kind of stacking up somewhat against it, unless Xbox is thinking, guys, don't worry, we're going to do this bundle where we're going to bundle Gears of War E-Day with the Xbox or something like that.
That's one thing I've been waiting for is,
I've been waiting. Like,
is the E-Day console.
Are we getting an E-Day console? Like, so that's one thing, okay? Like, if they start doing stuff like that, maybe that'll start selling some consoles. Who knows? But I just don't know if they're going to do something like that because we haven't heard it yet. And I mean, the more time that goes, I don't know. I mean, we were getting consistent updates from the coalition. Like, they were posting stuff, every single day for, a number of days. And now it's silent, dude. It's quiet again. We haven't heard shit, for a little while.
I like that.
So are you like, do you think that E-Day is in a position to succeed right now with all this stuff going on? Or are you a little bit, are you getting concerned about it? Whether it's the release date, no matter what it is, dude, all this stuff that's happening, are you concerned at all about E-Day and the budget that's been reported that it's taken so far to make it? What do you think?
I think people need to look at that budget number and go, that's not actually what happened, because there's so many variables that people have not taken into consideration. When was it 400 million that they stated? Some gaming insider that's never got anything right before has decided to tell us that 400 million was reported. There's over 200 members of staff at Coalition, and they get paid, I think, average between 60 and 80,000 a year Canadian. But then there's the higher ups that are about 150k Canadian. You're looking at 150, 180 million over 5 years of just wages. That's just pay packets. So that leaves you 250 mil. Marketing. How much are they going to put into marketing? Right? From what we've already seen to what we see now, little adverts that are placed in places. You see the cog Omen in one of the trailers. Things like that, all that adds up. And if you're doing that over a certain amount of time, I mean, you can add 50 mil for marketing. That leaves you 200 mil to build a game over 5 years. And 200 mil is not much for a AAA title nowadays. There's so much things that people forget. Voice actors, you've got to pay those. motion capture. You got to pay all those people. You got to pay electric bills. Everyone needs lunch. It's not just, here's 400 million, use that for just the game, and then everything else comes out of a different budget. All of that is TC's budget. They says, oh, this is Gears budget, but it wasn't. It was TC's budget.
Yeah.
And then what if they've got stuff on the side that they're working on?
Mm-hmm.
Some of that budget money goes into that because it's the company's budget, not just the game's budget. That's one thing that people forgot about.
Yeah. Ultimately, though, does it? Are you a little concerned about the all these number of things, or do you think that E-Day? Because I mean, at the end of the day, dude, if E-Day is a great fucking game, which I think we all agree, we believe it looks great.
100%.
It should be that
amazing.
That should be able to sell. That should be able to sell it, right? I mean, like just it being a great game should be able to sell it. I mean, I guess you're gonna have a lot of people playing for free on Game Pass, even though they're paying, a subscription. But like, do any of those things like concern you about it being too close to COD, or you know what I mean?
I don't think so. I mean, COD throw out the same game every year, and I haven't played a COD game since I think when the PS3 first got released. Like, there's no enjoyment in that for me, and it's so repetitive. It's like the FIFA games, same game every year, just got a different number at the end of the title. And then if you take like the people that are on subscription, to be able to get onto a subscription, Microsoft have to pay the studio a certain amount. Now you can pay outright to have it there as day one, or you can pay by year or by month. This is stuff that I've looked into. In some of the games, Microsoft are paying $5 million per year to keep it onto on Game Pass. If you're going day one, like, we don't know the number exactly that's going to be. None of that's going to be disclosed. Right. So we know that that's money that goes right back to the studio. And then you have the talk of controversial microtransactions, which, if done smartly, I think are a good idea for games. Because it just puts a little bit extra money into the studio to help with the next game. And they need to get the microtransaction side right. I think in 5 they went weird with it. In 4 they almost had it right. But the lucky dip of the Black Steel skins, I think that was wrong. Everyone should have had the opportunity to buy outright the Black Steel skin that they wanted. I know people that spent $90, $100 trying to get one specific Black Steel skin and ended up getting 4 other Black Steel skins that they didn't want. That kind of stuff I think is unfair. If you want a specific skin, you buy the specific skin. Obviously, when it comes to third-party stuff, I don't think there should be too much of that. Like the wrestling side and stuff, that was crazy.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Oh, and really quick, Lost brings us the $9.99. Hey, bro, fucking love you, dude. He says, been slaving away at these 12-hour shifts. Lots of OT. Keep up the grind, brother. The beta is almost here. It is, dude. It's almost here, homie. I was going to ask you this. What if one of the reasons, and I threw this out last Gears cast, I want to pick your brain about it really quick. Gears of War E-Day being so close to Call of Duty, and them both being Xbox titles or Xbox IPs that they currently possess or own, do you think that we could see some cross-marketing here between Gears of War E-Day and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4? I don't know if they would do like Captain Price and Gears of War, or they would do like Marcus and COD, or like, I don't know how they would necessarily do it. But I'm wondering if the reason why they're so close to each other is Xbox is like, yo, we want to own October. We want to like own this month. We want everyone to be talking about Gears and COD, and kind of take away a little bit of the noise from GTA. Because as we kind of know, GTA 6 is almost looking like a fucking PlayStation exclusive, the way it's getting marketed right now. So Xbox, it is unbelievable to me, by the way, guys, that is actually happening. But I wonder if they're just trying to create a lot of noise in October. Do you think there's going to be any kind of cross marketing? And the comparison I made, dude, was Helldivers 2 and Gears of War Reloaded. What should have been with Helldivers 2 coming here, Gears of War Reloaded going there, you would think that they would have like some cross marketing to like, yo guys, it's coming out the same day, Barbenheimer effect kind of shit. But it really didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't really happen. So, Reloaded did okay. I think it did pretty piss poor compared to what Helldivers 2 did, like, in terms of the Xbox audience showing up for Helldivers 2 was wild.
Yeah.
With Gears of War Reloaded, reports are like, 500, 700,000 copies, something like that, which isn't like, it's not like terrible, but for Gears of War, it's like, bro, come on, So anyways, do you think that there's anything to be said about Gears and COD maybe doing some cross marketing, them being so close together?
COD has a massive player base.
Right.
And it would be silly not to try and get interest from some of that player base. Gears has a very tight-knit, loyal player base. So it's harder to sort of see it from this side of like Marcus going elsewhere. Would that make me play COD? I don't know. I downloaded Dead by Daylight just because they put Pinhead in it, so there's a chance it might happen. It would be smart financially to do it because there is the opportunity. Even if it doesn't work out, you're not losing out. Just right. You can take the chance.
And Bon, the thing is, bro, Call of Duty's not in the best state. Gears of War's not in the best state either, based on kind of where we've been for a number of years. But like Call of Duty, bro, Black Ops 7, a lot of the issues happening at Xbox right now where they're having to almost like let go of people and close up studios. Yeah. We don't know if all this stuff is going to, for sure. Like, it sounds like it's going to be happening, guys, but like a lot of it is being blamed because of what happened with Black Ops 7. Like, Black Ops 7 did pretty bad, apparently. Like, even though it was like one of the best-selling games last year, it still did not do the numbers apparently that Xbox was expecting, Activision was expecting. And so they're kind of coming off of an L somewhat, and they need a big win here. And so Gears of War and Call of Duty, they both need big wins. We really do. So it's like
COD need to take a step back. They need to take a step back and not be releasing games every year. Like, it feels like there's a new COD game every week coming out. And even though I'm not interested in it, I see it. I see it happening all the time. And people are less and less interested in it because there's not much of a change. The last game is the same as the game before, and they just keep going.
Bro, I've been saying this for a long time, dude, that why don't they take Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Raven Software, and Sledgehammer and create a fucking super team where each of them does their best thing? Infinity Ward, they're the best at campaign. They do the campaign for Call of Duty. Treyarch does the multiplayer. Sledgehammer does like, whatever. They can do zombies, extinction, whatever they want to do. But I'm saying if you created a super team and you come out with a great Call of Duty every 5 years, bro, like, there would be something special. But they're never going to do that because it just is such a cash cow.
Yeah, they can make the quick buck every year.
They can. And I want, one of the things, dude, we're kind of talking about, obviously, Call of Duty, Gears of War, like those two games being so close together. But one of the other things I wanted to point out, I noticed this the other day, Bon. I wonder if you saw this as well. If you go to Gears of War's X page, there's something really interesting. Nowhere, no graphic, nothing that it says on the fucking, like in the bio of Gears of War's X page, does it say Xbox console exclusive?
No.
It says emergence begins October 6, 2026. And then it's got, it's whatever. And the graphics, none of them say it. So like I'm thinking to myself, like the coalition
We've had
is
marketing with the PlayStation logo on it,
like,
and then it was changed. Like,
bro,
come on.
I want to ask you this. Do you think that Gears of War E-Day, because people are trying to say that it's never going to PlayStation. I want to get off the PlayStation thing, but
I have an idea. I have an idea.
Hey,
it is a 1 year
is it
exclusive. It's a 1 year or a 6 month exclusive or a 1 year exclusive. But I think and I hope that after, whether it be 6 months or it be a year, there is that big hype again and it goes to PlayStation.
That like second bump, dude, and we just go to the fucking moon at that point.
Yeah.
Like that would be ideal. Do you think that's something that will happen?
I hope. That's something I would love to see. I think it would be good for the game. It would be good for TC. It would be good for Xbox, and it would be good for PlayStation. And all around, it's going to be good for players.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
I can spend the $90 or whatever it is. I'm just going to keep talking in American currency. I can spend the $90 on rather than have to go buy an Xbox. So that's the way that it would work for them. How many people are going to stress out that they don't get to play E-Day night? How many old gamers? Now I know a lot of old gamers that went from PS2. Then to Xbox, to 360, and then when the PS4 and the PS5 was sort of starting to make it, they switched. And that seems to have been the thing, and that's up to them. That's their prerogative.
Yeah.
They've already played the original trilogy. All the older PlayStation players, they were on 360 back in the day. They've played the original trilogy. What says that they're not going to see E-Day and go, shit, I'm going to have to go get an Xbox, or glad I've got a PC, now I just have to buy the game or get an account or get Game Pass Ultimate or whatever, because there's no guarantee that it's then going to go to PlayStation. I hope it does, though. I genuinely hope it does.
I wanna kind of switch gears here, dude, where you know, all the stuff that we saw at the direct and everything else. The first thing I want to ask you is, we are currently here now, that being July 2nd.
Yep.
Okay. About a month out from the beta. What do you think kind of happens now before the beta in terms of like marketing and stuff? Like I've been talking on the Gearscast for a while, dude, that I feel we're going to get a Horde direct. Like a Horde deep dive, a multiplayer deep dive, but like maybe that'll be something that'll come like right before the beta. I'm not sure, but I do think we're going to get like more info about the Horde. And by the way, I was going to ask you that. Well, I have so many questions for you, but let's start here. What is next as we're on this road, this journey to E-Day, and specifically, what's coming first being the beta? What do you see between now and then in terms of marketing and things of that nature?
That is a super tricky one. Like, obviously, immediately we were able to pre-download the place marker for the beta. That was great. Just having that there, having that sitting on my desktop, that's cool. That's a daily reminder. It's happening. We've got a month and 4 days. What do we do with that month and 4 days? Do I just keep looking at the placeholder, or is there gonna be an update? I don't think there's gonna be another deep dive or direct, but I do think we're gonna see more updates on socials with either clips or screenshots or just logos. Just stuff that makes you question it, or it reminds you what's coming. I mean, they were far enough away from Twitter for long enough that we thought, right, well, it's over.
Yeah. Do you don't think that they're going to do kind of what they did with was it Gears of War 4, where the devs like sat down and they were playing Horde mode? Do you remember that?
Yep.
Do you think that they would do that again for like the Horde Siege?
It would be great to see it happen.
Like,
yeah,
I think it would be great, dude. Like, I hope they do that. But do you think they'll go a different direction this time because the game's just so different?
They have to show us something. Like, they actually have to. Otherwise, everybody is going into PvP blind. And that's when people are going to be overly surprised because they already know what they've got in their heads. Like, so many people, there's no wall bouncing, Gears is dead. Like, come on, players invented wall bouncing.
Stop the nonsense.
Players invented wall bouncing, not the devs. Okay, people need to get over that. It's not about ice skating. It's about hitting a shot for a start.
We needed, like, would you agree, Bon, that we as a community, as a franchise, we needed fundamental changes?
Yeah, 100%.
In Gears of War,
100%.
Based on what we've seen, right? I mean, it's just like, dude, this is a fresh start for all of us.
There's far too many broken mechanics.
Dude, 100%. We are all on the same square now when E-Day releases. Yeah. Like, we're all going to be the same. I mean, sure, like, you have the beta.
We know the fundamentals. We know the fundamentals. We know how what the game is, how the game works. But I have just as much idea about the movement tuning in E-Day as someone that has never played Gears. Right now, we know exactly the same. And I've got 20 years experience and they've got none. But we know exactly the same amount of information. So if we both load up at the same time, both put the same amount of time into it, granted, I have the upper hand because I just know the basics of the game, but it's still new mechanics that everyone has to learn. No one's got a head start. If it was going to come out with the same mechanics as Gears 5, then we've got 7 years of head start. We needed the change. It's a splash of water in the face of Gears players, well needed. 100%, Matt. 100%.
Yeah, it is exactly what we needed, dude. Like, and obviously when there were so many changes that we saw, but it's like, dude, it just feels like a breath of fresh air. The biggest thing to me, dude, was they got the setting and the tone right.
Yeah,
like,
they're telling the story correctly.
Dude, the dark grittiness, the horror of Gears of War that used to be there, it's like, it just felt like it's kind of like it's been there, but it's kind of almost taken like a step down somewhat in recent years. And it feels like now they're really returning with the destruction of E-Day. I mean, because this is the day, dude. Like, that shit hits the fan.
It's the day we've all heard of. It's the day we've all read about, but it's the day that we've never seen.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like where we're going now is really exciting. It just is. I mean, sure, like, there's definitely things that we don't know, and that's part of having a brand new game that has like fresh mechanics. You know what, dude? I had an interesting comment. I wanted to ask you this. Someone had mentioned God of War. Okay. Do you remember when they did the kind of like they restructured a lot of things in God of War, like the new God of War titles, where it was still God of War, but Sony Santa Monica changed a lot of stuff, you know, from the original Gears of War games to what we now know as God of War. Do you get that same feeling here with Gears of War and what they're doing with Gears of War E-Day with all the changes that we're seeing?
It's not a kick to the old stories. It's not a kick to the old mechanics. It's a freshen up. And that's well needed. There's so many people stuck in games that are 15 years ago. And they're stuck there. And they will not move. And they want every game then on to be the same as that game 15 years ago. Why did Reloaded not work? Because it worked 20 years ago at the time when we had nothing to compare it against. Now we have 6 titles to compare it against that have all progressively sort of gotten faster, gotten more mechanics, and then we have to go all the way back to the only game that was center screen. Why would we go back to that? that needed to be modernized before they released it, and there's a reason that it essentially, in my eyes, failed. Now we're at the point of where we're 20 years down the line, where technology is much better. We know more about the lore than we ever have. The books that are released, the comics that have been released, everything that you can find online, and they can tell that story. Because we all know that we all know of that story. We want to be part of that story. What started all the shit that has kept me entertained for the last 20 years. That's what I want to know. And then we can go further back. We can do Pendulum Wars. We can do anything. Like, the lore is massive. And obviously certain little things need to be changed just to keep up with timing. They can't have E-Day as a year-long game. It can be a year-long story. It's set over 3 days. So they've obviously retconned the way that the Lancer says hello. But they've kept the key details right. It's in the shop. It was Ty. It was an electrical saw. That's the important bits. Just because the timing isn't exact, everything else is. That's all they've had to change. So I don't see that as a negative. I see that as it's a point that we needed to see, and to make it fit, you just had to change when it happened.
Yeah. And with, like, you know, we've talked a lot, dude, about E-Day being, it's kind of like setting up almost a new trilogy of games, because it's set over several days.
Yep.
And then, you know, 14 years later, that's where Gears of War 1 picks up.
We don't get left empty. Like, that 14 years are going to be filled. There's no way that they go, here's 3 days, and then there's Gears 1. That doesn't make sense.
Hey, would you agree that, because, dude, I have had people in my chats who have said, oh, dude, they're going to go from Gears of War E-Day, and the next game will be Gears 6. Bro, there's no way they're going from Gears of War E-Day to Gears 6. It doesn't make sense, especially if you're trying to bring in new people. So it's like, because what, you're going to go from the beginning to then
current time, essentially.
You know, right. I mean, a totally different time, you know? And so, like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. And so I feel like a trilogy would be really interesting. Yeah. Like an E-Day trilogy.
Fill
and
that
along those games, we get Gears of War 2 Reloaded, Gears of War 3 Reloaded, you know? So, like, we get a new Gears of War every couple of years.
What's your views on Reloaded for 2 and 3, though? I've pretty locked views about it. I'd like to hear yours first.
Yeah, I've really wanted. Honestly, dude, I wanted the collection. That's what I wanted. I wanted a collection where we had Gears 1 to 3 packaged together. You have one multiplayer, has the best maps, modes from, you know, Gears of War 2 and Gears of War 3, Horde mode, and then you have the campaigns. So basically your main menu screen would have been, you know, Gears of War, like the stories, like campaign, and then you would have like a general Horde mode, so you're not like splitting up the community, and then you would, like, instead of having like a Gears of War 2 Reloaded multiplayer, Gears of War 3 Reloaded.
That's it. That's genuinely all I needed to hear. Was not splitting the player base, right? Remaster 1, Remaster 2, Remaster 3. If you give each of them their own game, then people are going to play their favorite version, and you split the player base 5 ways, and E-Day goes down the drain. That's what would have happened. You cannot do that. Bare minimum, 1, 2, and 3, just the campaigns. I'd love to see what they can do now in UE5, what it would actually look like if it was made now. Not if it was ported, if it was made. I mean, Reloaded wasn't, that's still on Unreal Engine 3, it's still the same code. But what they could do now if they actually remade it, not just gave it a new name.
Yeah.
The PvP side, people have their favorites, and that's where they're going to go. If you want E-Day to have any kind of player retention on a PvP side or a PvE side, you cannot split that.
Do you think do you think it would be better as kind of more like a kind of like Halo Campaign Evolved instead of having a multiplayer that's like generalized to like the best maps and modes from Gears of War 2 and Gears of War 3? Or do you think just doing the campaigns makes the most sense?
I think
Because I'm saying if it's gonna be ported to PlayStation, which now it's like all this is kind of like up in the air now, but the idea of having the campaigns, you know, redone, remastered, or whatever, and then having a multiplayer that's kind of centralized for the best modes and stuff, and then the horde mode, I feel like that would, I don't know. I do think that if you separate these games, you release Gears of War 2 Reloaded in 2 years from now, which would be the 20th anniversary of Gears of War 2.
yeah, there's
So that's what I think.
it just
That's what I
would not
think
be
is
game.
Baban. I do think that's next.
It works
You know,
out
I
in
don't
the
think-
time frame,
Right.
and it also
I
gives us 2 years of E-Day before we even have to look at that.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
So it
Yeah,
depends what their
100%.
future plans for E-Day are before they can
Right.
even look at 2.
Well, we know for sure that they're going to
No,
do
no, I'm good.
like
Oh, a coffee, please.
they're definitely planning on having at least 5 seasons. That was what was reported.
Yep.
Was 5 seasons. So we know we're getting that. But beyond that is interesting, dude. I mean, do you think how long do you think these seasons are going to last? Do you think it's going to be like Gears 5?
And do the 3-month seasons.
Right. Because I'm like, well, if we're only getting 5 seasons, maybe they just want to see how everything goes.
That kind of gives us just under a year and a half.
That's what I mean.
A season should be quarterly. I think it works out.
agree,
It
I
works
agree.
out throughout the year, and you can get 4 per year. Now, the way that they've given us 5, that's a bit. It's a weird number for them to choose because obviously 4 gives us the 1 year, 8 would give us 2 years, 6 would have made more sense because that gives you a roadmap for a year and a half. If they are doing it quarterly,
Yeah.
but I mean that one we just have to wait for.
Yeah.
Like
we have to.
we're not gonna know how long each season is. When did we hear about 5 seasons? It is something that was posted as on part of a roadmap.
Yeah. So the roadmap right now, guys, what's exciting, Bon, is we at least have a roadmap.
Yeah.
Like, bro, at least we have something that tells us, okay, we're at least getting 5 seasons. So, like, let's be, I'm fucking elated about that. I mean, sure, I would love to see, you know, I would love to see what's like in the pipeline. But at the same time, I also said this, I was like, you know, people were asking, well, do you think that they're already working on a sequel to E-Day or they're already working on the next Gears of War? And to me, I'm like, well, I just want them, that being the coalition, to be all in on this one. Because if they crush it with this one, then we'll get another one.
Yeah.
So fucking lock the fuck in with this one and then let's go from there. So that also kind of relates to the seasons. Like, let's lock into these current seasons and then, you know, when we get to that point, I think that if we do the right thing and we crush it and everything else and the scene grows or Gears of War grows, then we're going to get more seasons eventually. And so what is in those seasons is going to be really fascinating to me, whether it's going to be more modes, more like DLC, like who knows, dude? I mean, what could it be? Could we get more, you know, horde maps? Could you get more, of course, multiplayer maps, get new weapons, new characters, whatever. And there's probably going to be a lot of that scattered in these seasons.
I don't want them to flood it. They made that mistake with 5.
Right. I agree.
I
Dude.
think
I
they-
agree. I actually said less game modes at launch.
Yeah.
Less.
There should be less game modes. All of the other game modes, I don't care if you want to put them in to one rolling quick play mode. You don't get to choose what mode's next, or you get to choose the same way that you choose in 4, but just stick all of the ones with a lower player base into one rolling quick play mode. Because that way people still get the opportunity to chill out, learn new modes, learn new weapons, learn different ways to play certain maps. And then
Okay, hold on. Can you go through this again? Like, tell me, talk me through this again. I'm kind of interested to hear your mindset on this.
So
you're saying
if you take your important modes, like the ones that you know you can fill with a player base, and that should be your ranked modes. And please have a good ranking system.
Well, okay. Well, so you're saying, okay, do you think that we need ranked mode at launch, or do you think it should be released later, like in season 1 or some shit?
Season 1, you should have like they kind of had the recruits in Gears 5, but a longer version of that. So everyone gets to chill out together. You don't even have to worry about whether someone's gold, diamond, whatever. Everyone gets to just play the game and have fun and figure out what's happening and get rid of their Bambi legs. And then season 1 kicks in, is where your ranks kick in. And before that, you just have rolling quick play. I mean, I'm seeing what Extra Father's saying. Ranked will be at launch. That is, it is going to happen, but I think it automatically puts people to a higher pedestal right away. If the ranking system is good and it's not a leaderboard-based system, which I think killed the ranking system in Gears 5, then people are going to be locking up. If you looked in Gears 4, there was like 0.04% of players that were Diamond. And if they didn't play again until the end of that season, they stayed in their spot as Diamond. I don't think they should have got away with that. I think someone that had a higher score that crawled into Diamond should have been able to knock them out of their place. Stick them back in Onyx, because this guy has put in more effort. You just managed to get there first and then stayed there. That's unfair. It's like quitting as winner, essentially. Clutchy, the game needs to be fun before it's competitive.
Yeah, 1000%. So you and I, we agree, even though I know ranked is at launch, it like says this on Steam and stuff like that. Yeah. But like we agree though that it should not be at launch. Like this should be something that gives us second wind. Like let's bring fucking Gears of War back and then whatever, go from there.
Let's all have an absolute blast.
Right.
And then we can go work on ranks. Everyone's found their feet by that point.
And hey, while we're talking about ranked and competitive, do you think that also brings esports back at some point for Gears?
If it does, I'd like them to wait a year.
That's fair.
I'd like them to build up the game as much as it can.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Now, I'd love for it to be there day one. I'd love for them to have started it now. I'm massive fan of the esports side.
Right.
But it's not specifically just the game side of the esports. I like the smarter side of it. I like watching how players think. Not just how players shoot a gun, how they think. All that kind of stuff is great. But give it a year, see where the game settles. Now, there's going to be plenty of community tournaments. All of that's going to happen. People are going to get a feel for whether it's worth putting any money into actual esports. Because we still need someone to buy that. We need someone to go, right, we're going to take it.
Yeah.
I don't believe they're going to get any kind of funding like they did Gears 4. No. They had a £5 million prize pool over the entirety of Gears 4. That's not going to happen again.
We have to rebuild the scene. Yeah. And then, and then when you have ranked and all that, I feel that the best way to raise money for different esports events and stuff is actually the way that Dota does it with the international. I mean, people buy skins and stuff in the game, and then part of that money goes towards a pot for the international. And to me, I would love to see them come up with some really, I think them helping fund community-driven events, see how it goes.
That would be a massive thing if they were to help fund with community stuff. And you just see how many people are willing to bite. Because you can you can easily put on a tournament. I can put on a tournament right now and say it's for 10 grand. But each player has to put in 100 quid. That's them out. I'm not doing that. They want 10 grand for free. Or they want the chance to win 10 grand for free.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can do that. That funding has to come from somewhere. If we can get help from any sort of the higher up Gears side, that's going to be like, right, we'll put in, if you can put together 5k, we'll put together 5k. There's your 10 grand. Then you can afford to either go, right, 5 grand goes to the players, 5 grand goes to hiring out venues, computers, getting everybody set up, whether there's got to be travel, security, little colorful wristbands, anything like that, you're getting help putting on this tournament. And that could be anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where you go, there's players. Some people just have to travel further than others if it's a giant country. I think there's 3 players in Australia. They have to go somewhere else for the tournaments.
Well, dude, and I mean, we have a massive audience in like Mexico.
Oh yeah,
for like the esports stuff. I mean, Gears of War in general, but like
they are still putting on LAN events for Gears 5.
100%. And so I think that there is something there, but like I'm with you, dude. We've got to bring Gears of War back from just first of all, it's gonna take all of us guys. It's not like it just takes one person. It's gonna take the coalition making a great game, supporting the game when it releases to a point where they are fixing the issues that arise in a timely fashion. And then we as the community have got to support Gears of War. And the way that we do this is by creating content, streaming. And then if you don't create content, if you don't stream, it's fine, dude. But being a part of this, being a part of these communities is huge, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking huge. Like, it really is. Us, like, collaborations, dude, collaborating on shit, being in each other's streams. It means something, guys. I saw Call of Duty blow up. It didn't just blow up because, yeah, the game it was a fun game back in the day for sure. But content creators and streamers,
it's numbers,
built Call of Duty. They built Call of Duty. Like, make no mistake about it, dude. They are Call of Duty. The creators, the streamers, the competitive players, they are the ones who really actually helped build Call of Duty.
Well, that's why a half-assed game can still get released every year. Because the numbers are going to play it anyway.
Exactly. And so, like, for us with Gears of War, yeah, it's a smaller game, but like, we've got to do our part in helping grow it.
It wasn't always the smaller game. That's the thing. There's just been a switcheroo. You need to find out what that switcheroo was, when it happened, and why it happened.
Yeah. Why do you think it happened?
I think I'm not going to attack TC in any way. They made mistakes. Yes, I get that. With E-Day so far, we're seeing that they're listening and learning by them. But I think they tried far too much to begin with. And they were just adding stuff and adding stuff and adding stuff. And then by that point, you can only add so much sort of code into something, like little bits that are wrong. Instead of it being timing based, it's animation based. So if the animation doesn't complete, you lose your life because of that. The animation shouldn't have a set time. You should be able to cancel at any point. And then you got silly things like, it's supposed to be a cover-based shooter. I shouldn't be able to just shoot over cover and chunk somebody 99% of the time in the game, and it doesn't matter what the cover is, I can still hit them. Little things like that it seems that they haven't really read into, and adding too many mechanics to be able, like, so wrap shots, Kermit shots. Now, wrap shots you could do way back, but Kermit shots, like, you're not even shooting, or you're not even looking where your shot's going. You shouldn't be able to do that. Your gun should be pointing at someone to be able to shoot them. Like, so many players are going to get a shock in E-Day at the things that they cannot do that they've used as a crutch in Gears 5.
Yeah. I see where you're going with it, dude. I mean, look, I've been on record saying, you know, like there's things that the coalition that they've done that have been really good in my mind. There's been things that they've done that are not really good, but I can say the exact same thing about Epic Games. They did
there's
great
never been a perfect Gears game. There's
never been a perfect game, bro. There is no such thing. So
the closest to perfection they ever had was the Gears 3 beta, and they'd already changed it by the time the full launch came out. It was perfect. Just let me play the beta forever, and then they changed it enough that it was no longer perfect.
I mean, well, like for me, so Gears of War 3 was, in my mind, it was my favorite Gears of War. It was kind of
Mojo,
like
I appreciate the 5
Gears
gifted,
of War
man.
Player.
Thank you so much, dude.
I mean, the campaign, unbelievable. Horde mode, they elevated it by, you know, adding the fortifications, and then you've got, I mean, just the way that they were able to innovate in different ways. Those were certainly the glory years in my mind of Gears of War. But yeah, I mean, the journey to get here has been really interesting, but and TC having from Ultimate Edition, you know, to Gears 5, they've had these games to kind of learn what they've done right, wrong, what they need to do different moving forward. We have new leadership over there, and here we go. They're listening to what the community wanted, and they're going back to the roots, and it just so happens to be E-Day. And so there's a lot of things to be really optimistic about, for sure. I'm very excited about it. I think that we are, without a shadow of a doubt right now, dude, like as a community, we're fucking back. Like we are absolutely back. I can't wait to see what happens when we get to, you know, the beta and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you this though, in relation to the Horde mode, because once again, I mentioned that, you know, Horde they elevated it with Gears of War 3. Now we're doing Horde Siege, which is really a fascinating concept. And I love that they're doing this because, by the way, when they introduced escalation back with Gears of War 4, I fucked with escalation hard when that game mode came out. And I'm really open to the coalition trying new game modes and stuff. And so Horde Siege looks incredible. My question to you though is, do you think we're going to get some of the classic Horde modes as well as Horde Siege?
I mean, if you look in Gears 5, you can go through all the modes. They added all that modes in there, and I think that they did perfect in Gears 4 for the Horde. It was not too much. Stop being a nuisance, cat. It was not too much, but it had just enough extra that it gave you control of the map. In Gears 3, yes, you had your fortifications, but you had set places that you had to put them. And then we get the opportunity to, wait, I can actually move this wherever I want. And I think in Gears 5 they added too much with like the taps and stuff like that. And also having characters tied to classes. And don't get me started on the fact that there's 19 classes. I don't want to talk about it.
Right.
That's at least 14 more than what's needed. So getting to try something completely different when it comes to Horde, this 4, and 4. Do I get to put together a private with 11 of my buddies? That's what I want to know. Or do I have to get 2 of my buddies to set up their own 4 stacks and then hope for the best? That is going to be stupidly fun. And I hope it is as difficult as it sounds. Because you think to yourself, right, if we need 12 players, that's got to be pretty monstrous, right? And I'm hoping it is. Yeah. Most of the Horde stuff that they've done now, once you learn how to do a map once or twice, that's it. You just repeat that. It's rinse and repeat. You have to then make up your own rules to make it a challenge for you. Do just barriers and lockers. Like, you're not allowed no sentries, nothing like that. Three sets of a team of 4.
It's
gonna be good.
The Horde Siege mode, dude, could be, who knows? It could be the best horde mode we have ever seen.
Yeah.
Ever. Potentially.
The thing is, it's different enough that we don't have to compare it to previous hordes.
Right.
Just the fact that there's 12 players and not 4 or 5, it's different enough that you cannot compare it. You can't say, oh, this is better than 4, because it's going to be that different that it's almost a completely separate mode.
Dude, we were talking about the schedule of what is the most important shit when the game first comes out and what needs to have legs over time. The most important thing, dude, in my mind, when the game comes out,
PvE is going to be the one thing that, if players don't want that sweaty side of PvP, like, PvE still has a massive player base on pretty much any Gears title.
Right. Do you think it'll be more important than the campaign at first?
There's going to be a lot of players that are going to just not even bother with that campaign. I know for a fact. There's going to be your diehard PvP players that just go straight to PvP, and they don't play it. Yeah. I know players now that still have not played the Gears 5 campaign. They don't even know that Hivebusters is a thing, which is better than the Gears 5 itself.
Are you right? I mean, I don't blame anybody for not going through the Gears 5 campaign.
But they don't know until they play it. They just... I know players that have never played a campaign, but have played PvP in every single title. Some people just have the mentality of that's their kind... They don't like this single-player story mode kind of stuff. They just want to fight people.
Yeah, personally, dude, I always have been one of those players that will play the campaign first, because not only do you get the story, but you also get to learn some of the mechanics just in the campaign.
You get to learn the characters that are in there.
Characters. You get to learn all that shit. And so anyone who's just jumping into the PvP, dude, like, I get it. Like, if you want to, when the game first comes out and you want to jump into multiplayer right off the rip, but at some point, dude, play the campaign. These are really special. Overall, I mean, it's a special fucking story, guys. Like, it just is, dude. I don't care what anybody says, man. Like, yeah, some of not all the campaigns in Gears of War are created equal, certainly, but like, if you play the original trilogy, guys, those are unbelievable stories. And so, like, this is down that same vein. It seems like you got to play the campaign.
I mean, the worst thing is you can have a great story told badly, and you can have a bad story told really well, and they need to make sure that that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
Because folk are just going to poke holes in it. That bit's fucked, that bit's fucked, that bit's fucked, and nobody hates Gears more than Gears players. As much as we love it, we love to hate it also, because we feel that the game also hates us. And, like, if we use Kate for an example, she was a hated character. And I don't believe that people are hating on her for the right reason. She was a badly told story. The idea behind her story with the connection and stuff, and who her mother is, who her grandmother is, that's a fantastic story to be able to play from. I just think it was really badly written. It was told badly. It made her come across as a whiny teenager, and I think they made that mistake. If it was even darker, if we take the darkness of what E-Day looks like, and that's what you live like in Kate's brain, that could have worked. It needed to be told better.
Honestly, dude, the thing is, Bon, is I gotta kind of disagree, because I don't think that it would have worked regardless. And the reason I say that is because you went from Gears of War 4, where we were playing as JD, and then so the torch was passed.
It's a weird
from Marcus
switch
to JD.
Yeah.
Right? And then you switch up on us. And by the way, dude, what pisses me off more than anything, people know this who have watched my content, more than anything,
is it right at the end?
Not even. No, bro. The name. You changed it from Gears of War
Yeah.
to Gears?
We are allowed
Like-
to call
like-
it Gears, right? Because it's easier for
You
me to
and-
say to you,
the
do you want to play
boys.
Gears?
The boys, we call it Gears. It's Gears of fucking War, though, dude. So you start changing the identity
Yeah.
of what this
It
thing
loses the
is.
war.
Dude. And so, anyways, that was the big issue for me with Kate. It wasn't that I didn't like Kate as a character. I didn't like that we moved on from JD so quickly,
Yeah.
and then they turned JD's character into a dick. Yeah, like, bro, I don't know. There was a number of things there that did bother me, and I don't know. Ultimately, though, the campaigns historically for Gears of War have been something that you've got to experience.
Yeah.
Like, especially the original trilogy, you got to experience it. Like, and the new one, 14-hour campaign. Now, here, I want to ask you this, dude. This is a 14-hour campaign, allegedly. And it looks like there may be some, I don't know if we're going to have exploration in this or whatever, but there's going to be side quests, side missions. They're talking about saving people, and you can choose to do it or not.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I'm all for that. Anything that can make a Gears campaign longer, I'm all for, apart from the open world thing. They tried that. It was not busy enough for me. It was too much scooting about on my snowmobile. If I was going to have that open world, I needed enemies every single second of that journey for it to be fun. I shouldn't be going off and doing a little mission somewhere and then scooting for 15 minutes to the next place to do a mission that I don't actually have to do. It doesn't further the story at all. It's just to collect some extra parts. And we had half a dozen of those little places to go visit that we could have just skipped right through. I needed enemies at all times there. I got far too bored with it. The game has always been linear. The only time we've ever had to split is you take the top way, I'll take the bottom way, and you meet up at the other side. And it's genuinely 3 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're still helping whoever's on the top side is shooting for whoever's on the bottom side. Whoever's on the bottom side, you're shooting. Like, the angles are there that you're not actually separated. That's the only time that it's not 100% linear, but it still is. It's still an A to B, no matter which side you take.
Yeah.
The open world, I mean, give them their juice.
It didn't work.
Give them their juice.
Work.
They tried. They tried something new.
Mhm.
Who knows? It could have worked. It could have been perfect. There's so many things they could have done to make it better. There's unfortunately not much that they could have done to make that worse. It didn't work out. So you got to scrap that idea. There can't be any open world unless I am consistently having to shoot someone. I'm consistently in danger. I want my screen to be red at all times if I'm in an open world setting. But the side missions, that's going to be cool. Like, instead of you having to go through here, you can cut through, save someone, and you then come back to where you were to continue the linear story. That's cool. Go over, save that guy, come back. That's all stuff that's just extras that don't need to be done. That is what I'm looking forward to. I need a long campaign. The longer that campaign is, obviously, the more you can get yourself in that mind frame and get stuck into the game. But you can't then go, no, it's a 30-hour or it's a 40-hour campaign, because by that point, it's dragging on.
Yeah.
But this whole 12 to 15 hours, I think that's sort of perfect for it. For the story that they need to tell, it's not... There's a lot of detail having to go into that story.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause,
I mean, you can see it. We can see
Yeah.
the graphic fidelity of this shit, bro. Oh, my God. It looks so good. I mean, dude, the game looks... Just like you look at it, it's like, man, dude, TC did it again. One of the things that TC does better than anyone else I've seen when it comes to Unreal Engine 5 is they are at the forefront of this engine, dude, from a graphic fidelity perspective.
Well,
It's
I mean,
wild.
TC are, as soon as Gears 5 dropped, half of the team went to deep dive and learn UE5. Then after 2 years, they pretty much did a one-on-one in teaching each other, so everyone knew UE5. They're the masters of UE5. That's why members of their team get shipped to other studios to help them and to teach them how to work with UE5. There's no doubt that TC can make the most beautiful of games in that engine. It just needs to be told correctly.
Yeah. I agree with you, dude.
So, I mean,
I think
if the story's shit, it's still going to look fucking awesome. Like, that's the one thing you can say about it. If they tell a really bad story, it's going to look cool as fuck, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I agree. Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's going to look great. It's going to look really, we can tell. It's going to look awesome. And they're not holding back, dude, when it comes to the gore.
Nope.
We
needed.
They are not holding back. They're like, dude, fuck it. We're back. And I really love that. I love that their mindset of like, we're going to lean into the stuff that's like get some people a little bit squeamish about shit. Good.
That's all I can say.
Welcome to Gears of War, bro.
Yeah, that's exactly it. This shit's scary. Yeah, well, it was scary back then for us. Like, it's supposed to be. Switch the lights off, play that game, and see how long it is until you need to switch that light back on.
Bro, we saw that. we saw the drone in the trailer, and I mean, the drone is like terrifying, dude. Like, they actually look like, and they're not just like these, like, you would think, a drone. They're pretty easy to kill, but like you see in these trailers, it's like, bro, they are scary. Like they are coming after you, dude. They are gonna hunt you down. Like, your shit is not gonna work right now. You're gonna have to work as a team. Like, shit is for real.
I mean, Marcus is a big dude. He's a big dude wearing big ass armor. And that drone just launches him across the room like it's nothing. It stands a foot above him. Now, we're speaking a drone. We're not speaking anybody that's actually dangerous in the Locust Army. It's a drone. And he's able to do this.
Dude.
I need to be able to fight. And it looks from that, right away, from that original trailer, you knew... shit, it's happened. Like, the fucking Locusts are here.
They're here. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be a movie, dude. Just like kind of seeing where they go with the story, and I mean, just everything, like the mechanics and stuff. I want to say this, dude, like, as kind of round out this whole entire thing as we're getting closer to the beta, what are your expectations for this beta? And when I say that, I mean, we look at the past of previous betas that have come before E-Day. What are you expecting in this beta? And it could be the first weekend, it could be when they do the open beta, it could be both of them, whatever. What are you kind of expecting here? What are you hoping for out of this beta? Like, are you hoping for a multitude of modes? You hoping for like one specific couple of modes? What are like your expectations and anticipation for the beta as we're getting closer, dude?
Do not hand us too much. Do not spoil us with 10 fucking new maps. Don't do that. Wait until the full release of the game, because I've had so many folks say, I can't wait to see what Gridlock looks like. No, don't even talk to me, man. Don't even mention the word Gridlock to me. I do not want to see that. I've played that for 20 years. Don't give me that shit. I need at least 20 brand new maps, right, for that full game. But beta, we need 3, maybe 4 maps, 2, maybe 3 game modes. 1 big team mode, 1 small team mode. That's kind of simple. And rotate it. Don't let people choose their maps, because that way it's everyone, it's equal and not people picking a favorite right off the bat, or teams picking a favorite right off the bat. Oh, we seem to play this quite well, so we're just going to keep playing this one map. Don't allow that to happen. Just hand the map whatever's done. That's it. That's the map you're going to.
Yeah.
Then I see someone saying TDM, King, and Execution. Yo, King, Execution, I'm all for. TDM shouldn't be a Gears a mode in Gears at all. I detest that mode. TDM can get in the bin. I'm reading both chats here. I'm reading both chats here.
Yeah, no, but well, to your point with TDM, I know where you're coming from with, you know, Gears in the past, but this being like so new in terms of like the movement, sliding, you know, like all like jumping, all that stuff. Do you think it would work different in E-Day than it has in the past?
No, because it's not a technical thing. It's a mental thing. It's the mentality of TDM players. They've ruined that game mode. The people that play it all day, every day, are that 2 that push a snipe and 3 that do nothing. And they will camp. And Gears is a fast-paced game.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be sitting camping for 6-7 minutes of a round. You're playing TDM now. I don't respect you. My bad, William.
Well, I mean, hey. So in terms of game modes, you probably would do what? Wingman, free for all, and like Execution?
Wingman would be amazing to have back. I would absolutely love that.
That would be amazing, right?
Yeah. Execution,
or
obviously.
Like a new mode. Maybe they might do a new mode, right?
A new mode would be very, very interesting. They absolutely nailed it. When you were saying earlier about Escalation, I hated the fact that Escalation just died off. And I think, again, that comes down to them adding too many new rules into Escalation 2.0 in Gears 5. That there's just nobody wanting to play it. They changed it too much. Escalation in Gears 4 was perfect.
Bro, they were updating the game too like often. You know what I'm saying?
They also,
it just got to a point.
They made all of these maps for 5v5 and then dropped it to 4v4, so all of the maps were huge.
Right.
And
no, you're right.
It felt weird. The balance fell off. So Execution didn't work at that point. So now that we know going into the game, it's 4v4. That's your team limit size. Yep. So we know that the maps are going to be made for having 8 players on that field.
Do you think there will be 4v4 though? Like some 5v5. Do you think there will be some 5v5 modes?
I think if that's the case, you should be able to choose, if you're doing customs. I do a lot of customs, obviously. And I think it would be great to go, right, okay, actually, we'll do 7v7s, we'll do 8v8s. I think you should be able to choose your team size up to a certain point, because then it gets silly and you've got 24 people on a map that's made for 8 people. But you should be able to have 5v5, 6v6. That would be cool, just as a community thing. But in any sort of public mode, keep that 4v4 as your maximum squad size.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why Guardian still has 5v5, because it plays like a 4v4 with an objective. The Guardian's the objective, and you've got a 4v4 on the map. Right, yeah. give me 2 seconds. Bathroom break, everyone.
No, I agree. I think having the bigger modes, guys, would be awesome. I think this game would be perfect for it. I think we talked about this actually the last Gears cast. We were talking about how bigger modes would work perfect for E-Day. And the same thing it looks like with something like Beast Mode. I will say though, guys, I really want them to bring out new modes, like all new maps. We're getting all new maps at launch, which is perfect. We've got, I would like to see some new game modes as well. And I think it's reasonable to expect that we're going to get that with the PvP, because we're seeing it with Horde Siege. We're getting a new Horde So why would they not have new modes? So I'm saying on this soapbox, I believe that we're gonna get during the beta 3 modes, and those 3 modes, 2 of them will be modes that we know of or like have played in the past. 1 new mode, something like that, like 3 modes, maybe 4. I feel like we want to make sure that we keep the community together during the betas. I don't want to see the coalition split up the community into all these different modes. And so I think if you keep it concentrated on a few modes, specifically trying out a new mode or modes, and then bringing a couple of classics would be fine. I wouldn't mind though if the beta was all new modes, because if we're getting all new maps, could we see all new modes? And we know we're getting Horde Siege, so like I wouldn't mind a beta with new modes and all new maps, because we know we're getting all new maps. So what if you got all new modes? That'd be really fascinating to me. And it's like, oh, the community likes these modes, they don't like these ones. Like say they did 3 modes during the beta and they extended it to 4 for the open beta. I don't know. I'm kind of just spitballing here right now, guys. But in my brain, I'm thinking I really want to see the creativity that the coalition has been putting into this game for all these years. Like that's why I didn't want to see the rinse and repeat modes that we've seen.
Yeah.
Or I should say the rinse and repeat maps that we've seen in the past. Give me new maps, bro. Like I want new shit. Like we're getting new weapons. The boomers look fucking massive. Like there's a bunch of new shit going on
That
here.
boomer is a big beefy boy. Like he looks scary.
He's a big boy. Like, dude, that guy is. I mean, all of these locusts look bigger. The tickers look bigger. Now, maybe it's because they like zoomed in on the ticker, but like even the tickers look a little bit like, I don't know.
You gotta remember that thing's like this size minimum.
Bro, those tickers, I don't know, man. And then the wretches without the armor, then the wretches with the armor, and then like dude, the Brumaks, we're getting like a new Brumak, it looks like, from the Horde Siege. We're getting some new new Locust variants, which I'm super fucking excited about. There's a lot of new things happening, guys. There's a lot of really exciting new things happening.
That's what we need, though.
So I guess kind of, what's that?
That's what we need. We need new.
Yeah, 100%.
Because if you look at the swarm, you can pretty much look at the swarm and go, okay, that's the locust equivalent. That's the locust equivalent. That's the locust equivalent. That's the locust equivalent, and they all have a 1-to-1 match with a locust equivalent. This gives us the chance to add new stuff to the swarm, to the locust, sorry, that then we managed to eradicate before Gears 1. So they can add whatever enemies they want in there.
Whatever they want.
They just have to make it into the story that they are wiped. That specific species of locust is wiped out before Gears 1. Because then you don't have to change anything that's already been written.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, dude, they have like an open sandbox right now.
Yeah.
Where they can just, I mean, dude, this is untapped territory. So they can literally do whatever they want here. And I mean, we're going to dissect the living fuck out of it, you know, whatever it is, whatever directions they decide to go in. I mean, dude, we as a community are going to be like, I mean, just locked into this thing. I'm super excited about it, dude. And guys, I want to say thank you to everybody who has joined us for this thing, for the Gears Cast. Bon, before we get out of here, dude, I want to say thank you so much once again, dude, for being on this episode of the Gears Cast. I'm super grateful for you, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
The Gears Cast. You're welcome on this thing whenever, dude. And that's one of the things, guys, that I've been telling everybody is we're trying to put together a squad of people where some episodes we're going to be able to get a bunch of people into the Gears Cast, and people maybe pop in and out or whatever, because we're all on like different time zones and stuff. But I'm super grateful, dude, for you like coming onto the Gears Cast. Before we get out of here, dude, what would be one last thing that you want to give to the Gears of War community as we're getting closer now to the beta? What do you got for the community, Bon? Like I said, dude, we're about a month out from the beta.
Yep.
Gears of War E-Day is going to be here before we fucking know it, bro. What do you got, dude?
All right. First of all, I think I have to read this sentence from Matt. They managed well enough with the Ragers. It'll be interesting to see what happens to that acid frog thing. Okay, Matt. We're just going to have to wait and see. I'm going to quickly go back to something you said earlier, Zero, about new game modes. Now, we know that we've got People Can Fly happening. They're helping with this game. Which, paying all of those guys, that's also in that big budget that we talked about earlier. But they gave us free-for-all to begin with. They gave us Overrun. We know that they can make good PvP modes.
Yeah.
So, if they've got anything to do with what's happening PvP-wise in E-Day, we know we're going to get some interesting modes there. It doesn't all have to be just shoot, kill, win.
Yeah.
But from now until the beta, we've just got to continue doing what we do. Can't be disappearing. Got to keep playing. Got to keep there on YouTube, Twitch, wherever, TikTok. Stop using JSON files, everyone on TikTok. Cheaters. And just keep things together. Because by that point, when E-Day comes out, there's going to be 20 smaller communities that are all going to be part of one larger community. And the sooner that happens, the better. And if you can keep your community tight, then it's going to happen sooner than people think.
Yeah. I agree, dude, with everything you just said. I think, guys, we're getting closer. I mean, look, ready or not, E-Day's coming. I mean, this thing is, we're every day we get closer to the beta, which is the closest thing that we have to really look forward to. Keep the faith, guys. I mean, we're, like I said, one step closer to this thing coming to fruition, and we are going to have a new Gears of War that we're able to play and talk about, and all those different things. And so, yeah, like you said, Bon, to your point, right now is the most important time to be locked the fuck in.
Yep.
Because right now we're setting the stage. We're planting the seeds that need to be planted before this thing comes out.
Why would anybody take a month off now and then come back when E-Day's gone? Like, that would make zero sense.
Exactly. And so right now we got to uptick this thing to another level, to whether it's creating content, supporting your favorite content creators, your favorite streamers. All of those things are so important right now, guys, because as we go here, the noise gets louder, the lights get brighter. I mean, it's coming. And so we've got to be ready, because obviously when E-Day comes out, we're going to have a period of time before, the new COD comes out, before the new GTA comes out, where we have got to make noise, guys, as a community.
We've got to put the footprint in right there.
Let's fucking go, dude.
It needs to stop everything in its tracks. Like, we need to make the mark before these other games have that sort of chance to. With the GTA thing, I think people are going to disappear and play a couple of hours of that story per day. Did they say that it was going to be a year until they did anything online, which is going to be completely separate as well? So
right,
GTA players are only going to have that story to play. And you're not going to rattle through that in a oneer. That's a long campaign. We know how long the stories are in GTA games. So you do a couple of hours of that, then you're back on Gears, doing whatever you can, because the PvP is there, the PvE is there. That's the thing that you can actually sit and play for 8, 10, 12, 32 hours. And I just want to meet new players within the game. It's at the point just now in Gears 5 where you're playing the same 20 names.
Yeah.
If you go into Guardian, it's the same 3 teams playing there. If you go into Control, it's the same 5, 6 teams there. And it just keeps going like that. When we get to E-Day and that sort of explosion happens, then I want to be able to see a new game, a new name every single game that I play for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And if that happens, then we know the player base is up.
We gotta blow this shit up, dude. We gotta blow this shit up. I mean, even if we don't have we may not have a ton of time like to do it, but if we do the right thing, you're going to be streaming consistently. And by the way, dude, what are your plans as we go here between now and the beta, dude? Like, so what does your stream schedule look like, dude? Plug your shit. What can people expect to see from the Bond, dude?
Every day apart from Sundays. You'll even get some. I normally don't do Thursdays. I don't do Sundays. Sometimes I do surprise streams on Sundays and Thursdays, who knows? But every other day I will be here on Twitch playing this game, trying to gain traction for new players. It's good to see new names come into the stream, asking questions about E-Day. Questions I can't answer, but I can give them my opinion. I spent 2 years trying to answer the question, when will E-Day be out? I can't answer that. But here's what I hope, and I'll continue doing that. I'll continue answering any questions that are asked. Matt, you caught me off guard. Matt will be in free-for-all falling asleep because we don't get very many free-for-all games over here in the EU. But yeah, find me here, whether I'm playing Gears or I'm doing artwork. Check my socials. I'm always painting. I'm always creating stuff, whether it be weapons or armor or helmets or miniature replicas. Yeah, I've got a lot going on just now.
Yeah, you guys will have to check out Bond for sure. And by the way, dude, your fucking Gears of War car in Forza Horizon 6. Bro, I pull up Bond's stream one day and it says that he's playing Forza Horizon 6. I'm like, oh, what is Bond doing? And I go in there. Bro, you're customizing the fuck out of this Gears of War car. I'm like, my man, bro. That shit was so cool. I love it. Dude, it was awesome.
I'm doing the marketing that TC should be doing. I'm advertising it where they are not.
Dude. Bro, that's actually like, dude, it's like brilliant because really TC should be utilizing Forza to like market E-Day. Like, yeah. Because Forza crushing it, dude. Crushing it.
Yeah, big time.
Oh my God. Well, anyways.
So I had so many people ask, oh, that's cool that they're doing that. Like, they thought it was a decal that was put into the game to advertise. And I'm like, nah, that's like a 1,500 layer image that I had to make to put on my car. I've got the E-Day logo there. I've got E-Day written along the side. I've got see you all October 6th written along the back. We've got the Beers and Gears logo. I'm everywhere, man. I try to be in as many places that I can.
No, it's awesome, dude, and I'm super excited to like go on this journey with you, dude. Like as we move into E-Day, it's brothers to the fucking end, dude. We gotta lock in, guys. I mean, look, we're close, and I want to say to all of you, who join the streams on a fucking Thursday night or a Tuesday or a Monday, whenever it is that we go live, we got people showing up, dude, and I really fucking love you guys. I'm very grateful for it. And I don't take it for granted, man. I'm really excited about E-Day. I'm all in, dude. I am all in this thing. I love this thing because I love all of you. And I'm really excited to go on this journey, bring the content, bring the heat, guys. If you guys have not already, check out Bond. His information will be in the description down below. Go to his Twitch. Check him out. Follow him, guys. Let's fucking blow this thing up together.
Appreciate it, man.
I want to say thank you so much to all of you for joining us for this episode of the Gears Cast. And if you guys did enjoy it, make sure that you leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Stay positive. Just keep grinding. And as always, I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace out.